Number 10. Your kitchen. That place where you prepare nourishment while pretending you're a domestic god, when really you're just a slightly evolved ape playing with fire. Let's start with your beloved microwave. That humming box of convenience is basically a radiation chamber we've voluntarily installed next to our food. Sure, the industry swears microwaves are perfectly safe, contained, regulated. But here's the thing. Studies show that even properly functioning microwaves leak radiation. Not enough to give you superpowers or an extra toe, just enough to maybe, possibly, contribute to long-term cellular damage. The crazy part is that microwaves were discovered completely by accident when engineer Percy Spencer noticed a chocolate bar melting in his pocket while working with radar equipment. That's right. The device you heat your sad desk lunch in exists because some guy in 1945 had melty pants chocolate. And now we've got a society so dependent on them that college students would literally starve to death if forced to cook with fire like our ancestors did for the previous 300,000 years. We basically went from must-hunt mammoth for tribe to can't wait 90 seconds for Hot Pocket in the evolutionary blink of an eye. The pinnacle of human achievement, voluntarily irradiating our food because waiting seems hard. Number 9. Your innocent-looking houseplants. Those supposedly life-giving oxygen machines sitting in cute little pots, bringing nature into your sterile apartment box. Turns out, many popular houseplants are actually trying to murder you and your pets with the casual determination of a sociopath playing the long game. Take the trendy Monstera deliciosa, that Instagram darling with the fancy Swiss cheese leaves. Every part of this plant contains calcium oxalate crystals that, if ingested, feel like you're swallowing microscopic glass shards. Your peace lily? More like, piece of your liver might fail, lily. It's highly toxic and can cause kidney failure in cats. And don't get me started on oleander, which contains compounds so deadly that people have died from using its branches as cooking skewers. The most diabolical part is how these plants evolved these toxins specifically to prevent being eaten. Yet humans looked at these poison factories and thought, this would look great next to my couch. We're literally bringing evolutionary weapons of mass destruction into our homes because they look pretty, then acting shocked when our cat starts projectile vomiting after a light snack of Dieffenbachia. Darwin would be so proud. We've managed to voluntarily bring natural selection right into our living rooms. Nothing says evolved species like paying money for things specifically designed by nature to harm mammals like us. Number 8. Your bathroom, that private sanctuary where you perform your disgusting bodily functions and occasionally cry in the shower. The porcelain throne you sit on daily is quietly plotting your demise. Toilets, turns out, are secretly launching fecal matter into the air every time you flush without closing the lid. That's right. Tiny particles of whatever unholy creation you just deposited are aerosolized and launched upward like a poop confetti cannon, creating what scientists charmingly call a toilet plume. This invisible cloud of microscopic waste can travel up to 6 feet and linger in the air for hours. The crazy part? Your toothbrush, sitting innocently on the counter, is catching these fecal fireworks like it's the world's most disgusting baseball mitt. Studies have found fecal bacteria on toothbrushes stored in bathrooms, meaning you're basically brushing your teeth with a tiny bit of everyone's waste who's ever used your bathroom. And let's not forget about shower heads, which research shows are perfect breeding grounds for bacteria like Mycobacterium avium, linked to lung disease. You're literally paying a water bill to stand under a bacteria sprinkler. The human bathroom is essentially a disease distribution center we've designed to look clean, while it secretly coats us in a fine mist of our own filth. Hygiene is just an illusion we maintain to feel less like the walking bacteria colonies we actually are. Number 7. Your smartphone. That electronic leash you voluntarily attached to yourself and now can't function without for more than 17 minutes. This glowing rectangle that gives you neck pain and anxiety isn't just ruining your posture and social skills. It's a legitimate health hazard masquerading as your best friend. For starters, smartphones are absolutely filthy. Studies show the average phone has 10 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. You're basically pressing the equivalent of a public bathroom against your face multiple times daily. But that's just the beginning of this technological betrayal. The blue light emitted from screens disrupts your circadian rhythm more effectively than an espresso IV drip at midnight. Then there's the radiation. While the industry insists the radio frequency energy from phones is totally safe, they also said that about cigarettes for decades. The truly insidious part is how phones are literally rewiring our brains through dopamine manipulation that would make a casino owner blush with envy. Every notification is a tiny hit of the same neurochemical that drives addiction. We've created devices that exploit our neurological vulnerabilities so thoroughly that people walk into traffic rather than miss a text. Silicon Valley executives, the very people who design these attention-stealing rectangles, famously restrict their own children's screen time while selling digital crack to yours. We've voluntarily created and distributed the most effective mass addiction device in human history, then act surprised when people can't put them down long enough to drive a car without killing someone. Number 6. Your cozy bed. That cloud-like rectangle where you spend a third of your life drooling and occasionally wet dreaming about your high school crush. Your mattress is basically a crime scene of bodily fluids and microscopic invaders that would make a CSI team quit on the spot. The average mattress doubles in weight every decade from accumulated skin cells, sweat, and dust mites. Tiny spider relatives that feast on your dead skin and leave their feces all over your sleeping surface. That's right, you're basically sleeping on a buffet table for microscopic arachnids who show their appreciation by coating your bed in poop. And those pillows you never wash? They can contain up to 16 different species of fungus and millions of dust mites. In fact, about 10% of a 2-year-old pillow's weight is composed of dead dust mites and their feces. The truly disturbing part is that these mite populations are contributing to the rise in asthma and allergies worldwide. But wait, it gets worse. Modern mattresses are treated with flame retardants that, while preventing you from going up in smoke from a cigarette in bed, are also linked to hormone disruption, cancer, and neurological damage. The foam in memory mattresses off-gasses volatile organic compounds that you breathe all night long. So you're essentially paying thousands of dollars for the privilege of lying unconscious for 8 hours on a toxic waste site of your own creation, while tiny arachnids feast on your dead cells and defecate all over you. Sweet dreams. Number 5. Your non-stick cookware. Those slippery pans that make cooking slightly less of a disaster for culinary underachievers everywhere. Turns out that convenient Teflon coating was hiding a toxic secret that makes asbestos look like a health food. The key chemical in traditional non-stick coatings, perfluorooctanoic acid, PFOA, has been linked to cancer, birth defects, liver damage, and immune system problems. It's so persistent, it's been dubbed a forever chemical because it never breaks down in the environment and accumulates in your body like plastic in the ocean. The truly messed up part is that the manufacturers knew about these risks for decades while telling us everything was fine, like a gaslighting boyfriend who swears those texts were from his cousin. When your nonstick pan gets overheated, it releases fumes that can literally kill pet birds in your home. They're like tiny canaries in your kitchen coal mine. That's right, the pan you use to make your healthy egg white omelet emits fumes so toxic they can drop a parakeet dead from its perch. The worst part? Even after companies phased out PFOA due to public pressure, they replaced it with similar chemicals that early research suggests might be just as problematic. Humans really looked at a pan that can murder birds from across a room and thought, this seems like a good thing to cook my family's food in. We've essentially traded a few minutes of easier cleanup for toxic chemicals that will outlive our great-grandchildren, proving once again that convenience is our species' evolutionary kryptonite. Number 4. Your laundry detergent. That sweet-smelling goop that tricks you into thinking your clothes are actually clean instead of just perfumed. These colorful bottles of Spring Meadow and Lavender Dreams are basically chemical warfare dressed up in pretty packaging. Conventional laundry detergents contain a witch's brew of synthetic fragrances, optical brighteners, and surfactants that don't just clean your clothes. They also penetrate your skin, disrupt your hormones, trigger asthma, and pollute waterways. The fragrance listed on the label can legally contain up to 3,000 different chemicals without disclosure, making it the perfect hiding spot for all kinds of sketchy ingredients, like a chemical version of a trench coat flasher. These detergents are so toxic that emergency poison control centers receive thousands of calls annually about children ingesting them. The real kicker? Those fabric softeners you love are coating your clothes in a layer of chemicals designed to stay on the fabric and transfer to your skin all day. They're essentially marinating you in a chemical soup that your body absorbs like a human sponge. And those vibrant colors? Many contain optical brighteners that trick your eyes into thinking fabrics are cleaner by absorbing UV light and reflecting it back as visible blue light. They're literally using physics to gaslight you about your dingy underwear. We're so obsessed with the illusion of cleanliness that we've created products that make our clothes look cleaner while actually making them, and us, considerably more toxic. Nothing says advanced civilization like poisoning ourselves to avoid the social shame of slightly off-white socks. Number 3. Your extension cords. Those innocuous-looking power snakes slithering around your home, delivering electricity to devices you definitely don't need. These ubiquitous household items cause approximately 4,000 injuries, 3,300 house fires, and 50 fatalities each year in America alone. The truly terrifying part is how we use them. Wrapped around furniture, pinched indoors, covered by rugs, and daisy-chained together like we're building some kind of DIY electric death trap. Extension cords are basically playing a game of hot lava with electricity, except the lava is actual electrical current that can stop your heart or burn your house down. The crazy part is that most extension cord fires happen because people treat these power-carrying cables with all the respect of an old shoelace. They get frayed, overloaded, or placed under carpets where heat can't escape, essentially creating a slow-cooking electrical fire starter under your feet. And those surge protectors you think are keeping you safe? Many are so cheaply made they're about as effective as a paper umbrella in a hurricane. Even worse, most people never replace them, unaware that surge protectors degrade over time and eventually provide all the protection of a screen door on a submarine. We've basically normalized having exposed electrical conductors running through our homes, stepped on by pets, chewed by toddlers, and stuffed behind furniture. Then act surprised when something catches fire. It's like we collectively decided that the convenience of not having to sit closer to an outlet was worth playing Russian roulette with our homes and families. Darwin would be so impressed. Number 2. Your cleaning products. Those colorful bottles under your sink promising to kill 99.9% of germs while conveniently not mentioning what they might be doing to you. Turn out, many conventional cleaning products are basically chemical weapons you voluntarily release in your enclosed living space. That lemon-scented all-purpose cleaner? Loaded with compounds like 2-butoxyethanol that can cause liver and kidney damage with enough exposure. Those toilet bowl cleaners often contain hydrochloric acid strong enough to dissolve metal and burn through your skin faster than your ex burned through your trust. The truly horrifying part is how cleaning product companies exploit regulatory loopholes to hide ingredients under vague terms like fragrance or surfactants, essentially playing a chemical shell game with your health. Indoor air pollution from cleaning products can be up to 5 times worse than outdoor air in major cities. You're basically creating a Beijing-level smog event in your bathroom every Saturday morning. And those antibacterial products everyone panic bought during the pandemic? They're potentially creating superbugs resistant to antibiotics through the same evolutionary pressure that gave us MRSA. The darkest irony is that we're poisoning ourselves in the name of cleanliness, trading visible dirt for invisible chemical contamination, like someone who burns down their house to get rid of dust. We've been so thoroughly convinced that our homes should smell like a summer breeze or mountain fresh that we're willing to spray known respiratory irritants into the air we breathe. Nothing says evolved species like creating a chemical hazard zone in your home because you're terrified of bacteria that your immune system actually needs to function properly. Number 1. Your innocent-looking water bottle. That hydration companion that makes you feel environmentally virtuous and health-conscious simultaneously. The truth about plastic water bottles makes the Flint water crisis look like a minor oversight. For starters, most plastic bottles leach endocrine-disrupting chemicals like BPA and its equally sketchy replacements into your water, especially when exposed to heat, like, say, in your car on a summer day. These chemicals mimic hormones in your body, potentially causing reproductive issues, cancer, and metabolic disorders. But the truly apocalyptic part is the environmental impact. Humans purchase 1 million plastic bottles every minute, and 91% never get recycled, creating an environmental catastrophe that will outlast human civilization. Microplastics from degrading bottles have now been found everywhere from Arctic ice to human placentas. We're literally consuming a credit card's worth of plastic every week through our food and water. The most twisted part? Bottled water companies have convinced us their product is healthier than tap water, when in reality, about 64% of bottled water is just tap water with a 4,000% markup. Dasani isn't coming from some pristine mountain spring. It's municipal water run through filters you could buy yourself for a fraction of the cost. The bottled water industry has pulled off the greatest marketing scam in history convincing people to pay for something that flows virtually free from their taps, while simultaneously creating an environmental crisis that will last for centuries. We've essentially created immortal waste to temporarily hold a substance that falls freely from the sky. If aliens are watching us, they're definitely not impressed.